Welcome to another episode of Learn with Elizabeth. In this series, I am focusing all on design skills. And so today we are going to talk specifically about how to open InDesign and get set up from the very basics. And so if you are an established stationer, you probably already have a process for setting up your files, but this video could still really help you in terms of just seeing best practices and ways that other creatives do it. So if you are brand new, this is a great place to start because it's going to teach you the very beginning of ABCs of getting started in InDesign. So let's go ahead and jump over into InDesign. So if you are a student of mine, then you know that I do most of my design work in Adobe In Design. I highly recommend using Adobe for any of your designing. If you are a professional stationer, it is super important. If you're not a professional stationer, but you're hoping to get there, then I highly recommend learning Adobe from the beginning because it will significantly help you as you are growing your business. There are just so many more capabilities that Adobe has compared to Canva or some of the more basic platforms. Not to say you can't start there, but if you start in Adobe, you will be set up to be able to grow and expand your business as a professional stationer without having to start over. This is the very opening page of InDesign. So if you download the app and open it, you will see a page similar to this, although you may not have all of these files down here because these are recent files. So you can see here, this shows files that I was recently editing. And you can easily just open these files if you want to go back into editing them. However, if you are starting from scratch, that's what we're going to walk through today. So we're going to start over here by clicking the blue button that says New File. And when we click this, we are going to make sure that the units are in inches so that we are creating the correct size files. And what I'm going to show you today is how to create preset file sizes that you can easily grab when you are starting a design. So the first thing you can do here is label a preset. So you might say like A7 invitation. And an A7 card is going to be a 5x7 card. And I'm going to go ahead through here and just set my settings the way that I want them to be. So for bleed and slug, I want to come down here and add a 0.125 bleed around all four edges of the card. That is a print requirement, a print setting requirement from most print shops that you have a bleed. Basically what a bleed is, it's going to create a little bit of extra space on the outside of your design for the print shop to then print it a little bit larger so that then they can cut it down to the right size without affecting your artwork or having any white lines around the edges of your page. Over here, you can see you can easily flip the orientation of the page. You can add additional pages if you want, but for the sake of creating this preset, I'm going to go ahead and just click this button that says Save Document Preset. So I'm going to rename it A7 Invitation and click Save Preset. So now this is adding this to my saved presets. So the next time I open a file, I can just click New File, go to Saved, and easily have my A7 invitation here that's ready to open. So I'm going to go ahead and open that now. So now that we have our 5x7 invitation card, and you can see this red line, it represents the bleed line that we added before, just adding a little extra margin on the outside of the card. So this card is now ready for us to design the invitation card, but we want to go ahead and add our RSVP card and details card pages to this file as well. When I am designing for a client, I love to keep all of the pieces of their suite in one file so that I don't have to have a bunch of different files for the invitation card, RSVP card, and details card, but instead I can have it all in one place. It makes it so much easier to design this way, and it also saves storage on your computer. So we have our invitation card. We're going to go ahead and add a second page. It is going to default this page to the same size as the original page. And so in order to change the size of this page to make this into an RSVP card, we're going to go into our page tool. So we're going to select this, or we could do Shift P to access the page tool. Then when we go back into our properties panel, we'll see the dimensions here and any presets that we may want to apply. So I'm going to go ahead down and select custom. And that is going to allow me to add custom sizes to my presets here. So let's say I wanted to add an A7 And then let's say I wanted to add an A9. Okay, so now if I want to add a page and I want to change the dimensions of this page, all I have to do are go into my page tool here and select the preset that I want it to automatically go to. So for this one, I'll click RSVP card, and that's going to automatically make it into a 4-bar RSVP card, which is 4.875 in width and 3.5 inches in height. So now I'm going to go ahead and add another one and go into my page tool and make this a 2, which is my standard size for a details card. If these dimensions throw you off a little bit and you'd like to have a cheat sheet to help you remember all of the different dimensions of the different card sizes, I highly recommend downloading my Stationery starter pack, which does have a breakdown of all of the different dimensions and which sizes I use for different parts of my suite. It is a free resource and you can download it through the link in the description of this video. Okay, so now we have our blank 3 card sizes. The only thing that we may want to do and talk through here would be adding a back to the card. So let's say we're designing with digital print and we want to have a back to the RSVP card. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and select this card and duplicate this spread. And so now I have 2 pages that are that A2 size. So if I want to be able to move this card up next to this one so that I can easily edit the front and back next to each other, I'm just gonna select the little hamburger icon up here on the Pages panel and go down, and I'm gonna deselect Allow Document Pages to Shuffle. I'm gonna deselect that. And then I would be able to actually just drag this card up next to the one that I want it to go beside. So now you can see that pages 2 and 3 are right next to each other. I can design the front and back together. And then I could do the same thing if I wanted to have a back for my details card. I'm just gonna pull it up next to the other side. So this is a great way to set up your pages so that everything looks neat and tidy and you have all of your page sizes saved as presets in InDesign. It will make your life so much easier as you are setting up files. The next step in this process for me would be to go ahead and save this file. And so if I were designing for a client, I would just name this file Design 1 and put it in their folder. And then the last thing I want to show you is how to add text boxes and then go ahead and get this file saved as a template. So the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and create some text boxes that we're gonna use just as placeholders with some of my favorite fonts. So I'm just gonna choose settings that I typically use for my invitation designs because it will save me time later when I'm trying to design for a client. So once I have my text boxes set up and ready, this is obviously just fake information, but this is helpful in just having these text boxes ready with some of my standard settings so that I can easily jump in and design this suite for a client when it's time. So if I want to go ahead and save this as a InDesign template, I'm going to select File, Save As, and then when I have this screen up here, I'm going to actually go down and select InDesign 2024 Template. Then I'm going to change this to Invite Template and click Save. And now, anytime that I am ready to start designing an invitation suite, I can open this template file and it will automatically save it as a separate file from the original template so that I am not actually changing the template, but then I can save it to one of my clients' folders and make the changes for that client's invitation suite. Okay, so I hope that this quick tutorial was super helpful for you in terms of getting your files set up in InDesign and some little tips and tricks to help make it simpler and easier for you every time you are designing for one of your clients. If you are brand new to the world of stationery design and this was like a great first step for you and you're starting to feel good about your ability to start working in InDesign and you're getting excited about the idea of designing an invitation suite, whether it's for your own wedding or for starting a business, then I want to let you know about a course that I have called Dream to Design. Dream to Design is a stationery design course where you can learn everything that I know about designing wedding invitations. I also teach you my client design process. So if you are planning to do this as a business, you will also learn how to navigate the process of coordinating with clients and working back and forth and doing proofing, sourcing artwork, all kinds of things that you need to know in order to design a beautiful invitation suite and start your stationery business. So I am super excited for you. If you have any questions, please know that I'm here to support you. And I hope that you will come back next week where I will continue to teach you some fun tips and tricks on designing invitations in Adobe InDesign.